Once, he was headed for certain business failure, but now Damien Boehm has shaken up the Australian franchise industry. This multi-millionaire business strategist believes in sharing the love. His aim now? To clean up around the world. So is he a game changer? Let's find out. I'm Gemma Acton. Welcome to Game Changers. Damien, welcome to Game Changers. Let's talk about Urban Clean and about how you got there, the journey. Great success now, but that didn't happen overnight. You did have a failed venture beforehand. Talk to us about how that led you to where you are today.
So I was in property development. I had been a consultant. I'd worked for a property developer, and then I branched off onto my own and was doing small unit townhouse and unit developments around inner city Brisbane. And this was just before the Brisbane floods, and the rain didn't stop in Brisbane. So it was like 6 months, 7 months, it just was raining constantly. And what I was doing at the time, I was buying blocks of land, I was developing units, and I was living project to project. That was really what got me thinking about having another business that could actually give me some recurring income, some revenue, and commercial cleaning just popped up all the time as this great business where you could win a cleaning contract, and if you knew how to put cleaning teams together and service the client well, theoretically you'd be able to keep that client forever. So I just needed to know, how to win commercial cleaning contracts and how to stuff it out, and then I wouldn't be in the mess that I was in, because in the end I had to sell everything in a fire sale. I almost went broke, almost lost my house, and I had to get a job knocking on doors for a roof restoration company. So this is a big change for me from living the life of a developer, which can be a little bit flashy and showy. We had our third kid who was on the way, and so it was a very stressful time for my wife in particular. I think sometimes as an entrepreneur, you can be a little bit more flamboyant, and you say, I'll just go through this period and I'll come out the other side, but it's very different for family, and they suffered a lot during this time. I realised I had to do something different, and this way of conducting business of trying to make a bunch of money out of just one deal or one transaction, then move on to the next one, wasn't really a sustainable business model. I needed something that I could build.
Urban Clean's grown really successfully in Australia recently, and I understand one of your big focuses now is really that, making sure you can empower the franchisees. How do you do that? How do you give them that support to turn it into an actual business?
I think it all comes down to training and systems, and then also there's that human element, there's that people element where you've got to be invested personally in a franchisee's success. And so the model that we follow, we have what we call our regional partners, which are our master franchises, and they recruit franchises, train franchises, win them cleaning contracts, and then show them how to grow the business. And then we have programs inside the business, or a recent program we call the Winners Inner Circle, where those franchisees who put their hands up saying, I want to have a big business, we work hands-on with them. So it's a program where we're actually showing them, okay, well, this is how to win a cleaning contract, this is how to staff it, this is how to get efficiencies in cleans and how to increase your profitability. And so it really comes down to having the right systems, having a method where you can win as many cleaning contracts as you want, a method then that you can get profitability out of commercial cleaning contracts, and then having programs then to support and train franchisees who want to grow a business of that size.
Sounds like a mini MBA for franchisees.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so in the end, business is all business. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing, whether you're selling clothes, you're selling burgers. I think it does matter in terms of like the business model that you follow. So some business models are harder than others, but the business essentially is the same. You've got a customer, you service the customer, and there's profit or there's no profit, depending how you run the business. So when it came my turn to franchise, I thought I'm going to do things differently. I actually want to give people a real opportunity where if they wanted a small business where they could get an additional income stream and earn $100,000 or $200,000, yeah, we could do that. But if they wanted to build a significant sized business that was in seven figures, I wanted to give them the tools and resources and support to be able to do that. And I found out that was quite a radical thing to do in commercial cleaning.
Damien, Urban Clean was started in 2010. How big has it grown now?
So we have over 150 franchise partners now around Australia. When we started in 2010, well, I'm not sure we can say we, it was me. So it was me and a vacuum cleaner and that was it. So for the first few years, it wasn't really doing much. And in 2014, we franchised the business. And so the first year, we recruited about 6 franchise partners and now we've grown to where we are now. But for me, the most important thing is developing our franchisees. Not so much like the number. I always call it a vanity metric. Oh, you got over 100 franchises, that sounds great. But it's what are the people inside the business doing? What are they achieving? What results are they getting? I think that's what matters most in a business. So our rule, and we say to all of our franchisees, is win a client, keep them forever. And that's the idea, is that you're servicing them every single month and growing with their business or supporting them as they're doing the things that they're meant to be doing in their business. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. What's your approach to getting and retaining your clients?
Well, because I didn't come from a commercial cleaning background, I really didn't know what service to offer other than cleaning. And so I thought, well, why don't I just ask my customers? So when I was growing my business, I eventually got it to a certain size where I could grade my customers, and I graded them A, B, C, and D. And the D customers, they had to go. But the A grade customers, they were customers that just were a pleasure to do business. They were very profitable. I just wanted more of them. And I thought, what better way of learning how to get more of them than just ask them what they wanted? And so I interviewed all of my A-grade customers and they gave me this list, and it turned out to be about 6 things that all businesses were looking for, well, at least my A-grade customers were looking for, and price wasn't on the list. And that was a big revelation for me, and that was the game-changing moment, if you like, for our business, is when we found out exactly what our customers were looking for. And then I just went to work designing the service around those 6 core things that businesses were looking for. And that's when the business took off. And once the business took off and we started winning cleaning contracts after cleaning contracts, I had a problem of winning too much work. And also the way I was doing my marketing at that stage meant that a lot of my cleaning contracts were all over the place. And that's how I got into franchising.
So you rely very heavily on having a really talented workforce, but you also have a very unique app, from what I understand, the first in the industry, Janiflow. Tell us about that.
So when I interviewed my A-grade customers and asked them exactly what they were looking for, a lot of them were saying, I want to know when the cleaners come, I want to know what they do, I want to make sure that important items are getting picked up and identified. I want to make sure that my place is secure after you've left. And so at the time, this was like 2013, I thought, well, why don't I just create an app so I could put it on cleaner's phone, and when they come in, the office manager's notified that the cleaning team's arrived. Anything that was important to them, we would take images. We can change these items on the app. And then there's now a real-time method of communication and full transparency around what's happening at cleaning, because a lot of people were frustrated. They had no idea who's turning up at night. They don't know what's going on with the cleans. They're worried about security because there's like no way to know what the cleaners are doing when they show up and who they are. And so that app solved a lot of those problems. And we purposely kept it very simple and very streamlined because it's all about what the customer wants.
Where to from here?
I'm a big believer that if you've got something good and it's changing people's lives, then you have a duty and obligation to share that with as many people as possible. So we're opening up in the United States, we're opening up in the UK. We had a soft launch last year in Las Vegas, and we're looking at bringing this model right across the world and also continuing to develop the franchise. There's more programs, there's always work to be done, so it never finishes. And there's always another level to go to from the business. I mean, what we were doing 5 years ago is very different from what we're doing today.
Certainly sound like you've got a lot on your plate. Damien, thank you so much for your time today, and best of luck for the year ahead for Urban Clean.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Gemma.